Welcome to this explainer. Today, we're diving into something truly exciting. We are going to demystify exactly how you can build an AI automation from absolute scratch, and we're going to do it without writing a single line of code. If you've always thought AI workflows were just for software engineers, well, the sources we're looking at today are going to completely change your perspective.
But hold on, before we even think about clicking buttons or comparing different software platforms, we have to start with a really critical question. What exactly is workflow thinking? See, before we touch any tools, we absolutely have to completely change the way we view our daily repetitive tasks. It's a fundamental mindset shift, and it has to happen first.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here's our blueprint for today. We'll start with the no-code AI promise, move into adopting workflow thinking, cover triggers, inputs, and outputs, explore actions and conditions, learn about handling automation errors, and finally, building from scratch.
Section 1, the no-code AI promise.
If you consider yourself totally non-technical, the foundational promise of our sources today is incredibly empowering. You can create a complete automation from scratch with zero coding required. Seriously, zero. You can build these massive, powerful workflows simply by understanding a few core conceptual building blocks. It's entirely about the logic in the process, not some complex computer syntax. The tools we have today, they actually translate your logical instructions into the technical code behind the scenes. That leaves you free to focus entirely on what you want to achieve rather than how to program it.
Section 2, adopting workflow thinking.
Now, what's really interesting here is the stark contrast between two entirely different ways of working. First, you have manual task execution. That's just doing things step by step entirely by yourself. It's how most of us traditionally work, right? But then you have workflow thinking. This fundamentally changes how we approach our jobs. Instead of being the person manually executing that repetitive task, workflow thinking means you're designing an assembly line to do it for you. You become the architect of the process, not the manual laborer. You're zooming out and looking at the system as a whole.
Section 3, triggers, inputs, and outputs.
First up is the trigger. Think of the trigger as the specific event that kicks off your automation. It's that vital spark that starts the entire assembly line moving. To make this really concrete, let's just imagine we want to automate customer service. The definitive when this happens moment, your trigger, might be receiving a brand new email in your support inbox. The literal second that email hits the server, boom, the assembly line powers on. Right after that trigger fires, we have the input. The input is the raw data or information fed directly into the automation. Imagine this as the raw materials dropping onto our conveyor belt. In our customer service example, if the trigger was the email arriving, the input is the actual body text of the email, the sender's address, and maybe the timestamp. It's the raw material the system is going to work with. And to wrap up this rapid-fire trio, we have the output. The output is the final result or product generated by the automation. This is the finished good that rolls right off the end of your assembly line. Going back to our support email, the output could be a beautifully drafted, automatically generated client response that gets sent right back out to the customer. Or, hey, maybe it's a freshly updated row in your customer database noting their issue. Section 4, actions and conditions. Okay, so now we know exactly how the line starts and ends. But we need to tell the AI how to behave in the middle, right? This starts with an action. An action is the specific task or operation the AI performs on the data. This is the actual mechanical work happening on the assembly line. Returning to our customer service email, the action might be the AI reading the incoming text and extracting the client's account number, or using a language model to analyze the tone of the message. The action does all the heavy lifting between the input and the output. But here's the thing, not every piece of input needs the exact same action, and that is exactly why we have the condition. A condition represents the rules or logic that dictate if or how an action occurs. I like to think of the condition as the traffic cop of your workflow. It stands on the assembly line and says, hey, if this incoming email is from a VIP client, send it down path A for immediate escalation. But if it's just a general billing inquiry, send it down path B for an automated refund response. It routes your DONA based strictly on the rules you set. And this brilliantly illustrates how it all comes together. The flow becomes incredibly clear. A trigger happens, but before the action occurs, we check the condition. The trigger connects to an action only if the specific condition is met. Seeing it like this perfectly ties together those core terms we just learned into a clean, logical sequence. It is simply cause, rule, and effect. Section 5. handling automation errors. To truly bulletproof our system for the real world, we absolutely need error handling. This means anticipating and managing unexpected issues or failures in the workflow. Let's go back to our assembly line metaphor one last time. This is how we tell the machinery exactly what to do if a bad or broken piece of material accidentally falls onto the belt. What if our customer service email is totally blank? Or what if it's in a language the AI just isn't set up to translate? Instead of the whole factory shutting down in a panic, error handling tells the system to gently push that bad piece into a reject bin, flag it for a human to review, and keep the main line moving smoothly for the very next email. Section 6. Building from scratch. So the crucial point is, this is the climax of our blueprint. This is where all the pieces come together in one beautiful sequence. First, we set the trigger to wake the system up when that email arrives. Second, we gather inputs to get the email text onto the belt. Third, we check conditions to ensure our traffic cop directs those VIPs to the right place. Fourth, we execute actions, letting the AI draft the perfect response. Fifth, we manage errors, just in case an email is completely unreadable. And finally, step 6, we deliver the output back to the customer. By mapping out your thoughts in this exact sequence, you are conceptually creating a complete, robust automation from scratch, using literally every single term we've learned. And notice what is completely missing from this entire process: coding. Which brings us to the end. You've got the knowledge, you have the blueprint, you understand the essential components of the assembly line. So my question to you is this: now that you have this powerful new workflow thinking superpower, what is the very first task in your own life that you are going to automate? Start small, build your first machine, and just watch how it changes the way you work forever.